Peace, how you doing? It's the Floacist here, and you're watching Female All-Star TV. Interesting, you know, regarding the new look, as it were. I actually cut my hair in 2006, and mid-2006, so all of the shows kind of, I say June, March, between March and June, all the way to the end of the year, my hair was short. So some people had seen that, but obviously the video and my album cover show that my hair, you know, obviously I don't have locks anymore. But I think most of my audience kind of understand it, although there's a lot of people who are like, why did you, what made you cut your hair? What made you cut it? Some people, are you gonna grow locks again? Yeah, I have to have silver locks. I have to in my life. You know, they'll be like, so I love my hair like this because I can get really good meditations in the shower, you know, with the water's really, and I can't have no 45-minute hair styling situation before I leave my house. I just be late for everything. So this works for me. It's very transparent. It's where I am. It's how I feel. It's beautiful. Yes. I've been on quite a journey. The end of Floetry was heartbreaking to me. I had to really level out and see what I was made of, you know. Put my speech into practice in order to align myself and feel blessed and not throw away an amazing accomplishment with a couple of stories and things, you know, process my experience and feeling. And the end of Floetry led to a lot of personal journey as well, you know. So it's been a massive transition. It's been something I completely get, completely understand. I'm grateful for. I'm very happy where I am, and I completely understand that everything beforehand is a part of it. So I don't wish away anything. I don't wish to return things or change them. I really understand them. So very transformational for me, extremely transformational for me. You know, that last 3 years, the ease was in there. Oh, sorry, probably 20s, not yet. Was in there, big growth, life-changing stuff. So yes, massive transformation. Body, soul, and mind. Do you mind? I just love it if you would let me find myself in this. Sat at home with my son laid out across my lap, and I think my husband was making some music. We were just saying, telly or something, and I thought, you know what, I'm good. Don't really have to do. I've done everything that I love everything I've done. I'm extremely grateful, happy, honoured. I can chill, and it was a really beautiful moment. It was so peaceful, and then of course the other side of that submission was, oh hey, here's the deal, let's go, let's move, record out now, video. But that was really beautiful and really aligning and helped me, I suppose, to continue to enjoy the blessing of what this is, and continue to hold high the responsibility that is in this sharing and creating art, you know. So I would say those are my highlights. Funny highlight, but I think my biggest highlight was when I realized that I just love my life, and that was without a record deal. So it bears really good reference to, I suppose, where I am now. Yeah. You know, it makes this deal. I'm executive, you know, I've executively produced this project with my husband, who's also my business partner. Okay. Our production house, F.A.S.A music company. It's a different experience. It's the difference between going to school and going to work, I suppose, you know? Yeah. And that's what's going on now. So it's really, really beautiful. There have been no issues and complications. I mean, when Floetry ended, I didn't have a deal. I know Marsha has said that I was pursuing my solo career, but I didn't have a deal. Marsha had a deal. I had an experience of being on the outside of a business I've been working so hard on, you know. So to be quite honest with you, there haven't been any issues from point of solo deal on. There's been a lot of growth, learning, but with regards to, I wouldn't say so much that it was just a fallback person, although that can be the setup if you're in a group. For myself, it was the larger issues would have pertained to the group workings and to the responsibility of the message and where one would want to go. I mean, that is the clash of Floetry is where we wanted to go with our messages. You know, so being solo, there's no clash. There's just kind of completion. Yeah. And that's not to say that collaboration isn't a fantastic way to operate. And when you're solo, you're still collaborating. You know, there's no, I did it by myself in this business. There's some people are there, you know. So I love collaborating in that sense. But yeah, there's no issues. I love producing. This is going to seem long-winded, but from the age of 7 I wanted to be 30, right? Which is interesting. I just felt like by the time I was 30, no one was going to be able to tell me I was too young to know what I was talking about. So at the age of 7 I wanted to be 30, so I kind of threw my foresight out there. But when I got to 30, the next place I could see was like 60. So I was like, wow, I'm in it right now. This must be what it is to be in your time, you know. So I say all of that to say I didn't create my record with expectations, I created it with intention. The opportunity came about, which meant there must have been a message to share. A lot of artists don't realise that. They think they have right in front, but they just need to live some life. They think that they can't get signed, but they don't need to be signed. They need to be working in their craft. But a lot of people get into this, I'm signed stuff. But there's much more to being an artist than the music industry in itself. It's a spiritual journey and it's identity. It has the opportunity of being real aligned, you know. Some of the most historical figures in history are all artists, whether they were leading, you know, armies, whether they were queens, whether they were kings, whatever. So there's a high responsibility, you know. So yeah, I didn't make any expectations, and when you don't have expectations, there's nothing to fall short of, you know. But at the same time, I understood that there was a message because there was an opportunity to record, to release a record, and that's divinely led. And so there must have been a message, there must have been something for me to say, for me to be given that opportunity.
Pages of you and never get tired. You take me higher. Let's float away to another space, another place.
It's really lovely. The album debuted in the top 100 of Billboard charts. It was like #1 on iTunes sold charts. The reception has been fantastic, and this record is made for those who, you know, it's not attempted to be anybody else to any mark. It's just what it is for who wants or chooses that. So the response has just been absolutely, it's been phenomenal. But I've been very blessed to have a very beautiful experience in audience-artist relationship, you know. It's always been extremely pure, extremely pure. Of course Let Me is one of my favourite tracks, of course it is, but to be honest with you, the album is a complete concept for me. It's not split up into songs, it's not, I love those ones and then I just had to put those ones on there, no. Very important to me, I think, the opening and the ending of the album. I think that's very important. The opening, breathe, the meditation of being able to let go to grow, and then the final affirmation of it's going to be all right in the end. Those two meditations have become mantras of mine and have become ways that I guide myself through the past 5 years. Bit of both. I don't think I've, as of yet, I don't feel there's a lot more I have to do with the UK artists connection that I have. To be fair, I went away for 10 years really to establish myself, to work and to create something that can feed. Sometimes you lend by doing, but that being said, there's more connection to be made. I remember sitting down looking at the Grammys 3 years in a row, we were there, then the next year Amy Winehouse took it, the next year like Adele was winning the Grammy, and then Estelle, and I'm like, all these Brits, and we're not necessarily linking out there, but that's, I think, possibly the challenge we have even back home. So I wouldn't say that it's all been done yet. No, there's still more to do, but I would say that right now I attempt to do sharing in my doing. Video's gonna be up. It's gonna be up mid-January. It will be up. Everyone will be able to catch it on YouTube and across the internet. And there's touring next year. There's going to be a lot of touring going on.
UK and Europe or across?
Everywhere. Starting off in the US, okay. and moving. I think 2011 is going to be quite a travel film year.
Will you let me? If you let me, I'd love to be.
I think the qualities needed to be a female porn star. Listening, quite one to start with, but it's really glad, it's really powerful. The willingness to grow and to embellish, and don't sell yourself out by disowning yourself. A lot of women do that. We talk about ourselves in phases, and that like every single phase isn't connected to the other phase. Rather than really allowing that wisdom to ripen and understanding and claiming and loving ourselves across the way and embellishing and being proud of that. So I think that there's something very big in that, claiming.
Another place I hope you to retrace all you have lost. If you